Hey everyone, how you doing? Okay, let's get this off the screen and welcome back to Power Wash Simulator. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on, and I will explain to you why that was. Let me just set up my screen here so I can see what I'm doing. And let me make sure my chat box is working okay. Where is my chat box? Where'd you go? There it is. Okay. Good, good. I never quite know sure where to put this so that I can see it. Make sure I can catch anybody who's saying anything. Hopefully that's working, guys. Let me know if there's an issue. I think it should be working, but we'll find out. All right. Let's go into... so we're done with career. If you guys might remember, we finished off the last missions of the main story. So we're going to go into, I think it's, is it bonus jobs? Hang on a second, let me just check this. Yeah, this is the DLC. Okay, so let's go to career. I think it's under bonus job. I thought it was called odd jobs. Okay, odd jobs is the name of the actual thing. I should change that on my thing because that's not really what I meant. I meant bonus jobs. But okay, let's go ahead and head into odd jobs and we'll get started on these. We're going to go through these until we finish them, I guess. So we'll start off with the Mars rover. Hey Wishy, sorry to message you so late at night, but how are you set up for tomorrow? You may remember my friend Marsha, the total space cadet. She's got an urgent need for a power washer. A couple of disclaimers. One, she's way out of town, but said she'll pay your expenses as long as they're not too astronomical. Two, it has to be tomorrow. I just thought doing an odd job somewhere in Alien might help your business take off. I'll text you the details when I get them in the morning, and you can see how it lands. Until then, you can always dream of what could be. I'm not sure what this is doing down here. Maybe that's what we have to use. We'll find out. It's worth $270, so okay, let's go ahead and start. Continue. Yep, Mars. Sweet. Okay, well, let's get to it. Welcome to Mars, Astro Washer. We are all extremely grateful you took the time to come out all the way out here. Sure, sure. Your liquid oxygen reserves have been carefully calibrated to last precisely as long as the mission, so do not concern yourself with the time constraints. Uh-huh. Okay. So guys, I do want to talk about the games today because there were some significant developments that happened today. A couple of them. And I think I want to talk about it a little bit. This is going to be tricky. There's a lot of undersides in here. Huh. This is going to be... this is a little on the interesting side. In fact, I can't even really see in some of these places. Yipers. Right. Let's work on the outside. wheels. So yeah, I want to say some words about what happened all this week. Hey, there we go. O2 levels 20% depleted. Well, as it turns out, I'm 20% of the way done with this rover, so that works out fine. Your mission: an exploratory rover has been contaminated with a dangerous substance. Like Martian dust? Is that what we're talking about here? I can't get in here. Why? Dude, down. I thought I was down. I can't get in behind that. Well, that's done. There you go. No terraforming or colonization can take place until you have eradicated the threat. The future of humanity's expansion through the solar system rests in your capable hands. Sure. Okay. Let's get whatever this thing is. Monitoring station cleaned. Well, that's good. You don't want a dirty monitoring station. Let's try. Nope, I gotta get down further. Boy, there's like nooks and crannies all over this damn thing. Okay, so is the wheel done more or less? I mean, it seems pretty good. Suspension, not so much, but I think the suspension runs. We'll take it from there. So yeah, if you didn't know, guys, I was gone last week. So no recording last week, which is, now we didn't have an interruption in videos. So what I just did is I let the videos that I had play out. So instead of being 2 weeks ahead of you guys, I'm now a week ahead of you guys, which is fine. I had made a great deal of effort in the past to to get ahead of you guys by a couple of weeks, but I was like, it's really difficult. You can't really get under this thing. I decided to pull it back and do a week instead of 2 weeks. It's fine. Especially since this channel is actually going to be changing formats pretty soon. So yeah, tire's good, wheel hub's good, suspension's not good, but that's all right. So yeah, so that's the first thing that happened, was that I was gone for a week or so, which is why there was no stream last week. And yeah, I just let the videos that existed on the channel play out. That was fine. It was fine. Okay, that's looking pretty okay. Okay, that suspension's about half done, which I think is probably part of the same thing over here. Yeah, it's all the same thing. Let's see if we can actually finish the suspension. So, yeah, O2 levels 40% depleted. Well, that works out because we are 40% done. The substance itself is an extraordinarily powerful psychoactive chemical. On Mars. Really? I'm kind of under the impression that Mars was mostly dust. But okay, sure. When exposed, the individual cannot help but act with absolute integrity. Oh, geez. Just bring some of that back home then. What am I stuck on? Stop being stuck on stuff. Can you imagine if something like that got into the wrong hands? Well, seems like not a bad idea to me. Oh, it's a stupid bar. It's right in my way. That's what I'm getting stuck on. Okay, this is all good. Suspension. Oh, this second wheel's not done yet. In fact, that's not a wheel. What is that? Is it like a brake? How exactly are they expecting me to get this tire when I can't get underneath this rover? And this damn bar's in my way. Well, we got part of it. Cool. There you go. So yeah, that happened, and then I got back on Monday, and so it was still several days before I could play, like really, because I you know, I work and stuff, and I can't record on the weekend or the weekdays. So it took a little bit to get back to the game. I was super excited to get back to playing. It had been 2 weeks since I had last recorded anything, and I was at a very interesting spot in God of War, and I wanted to see what happened next. And yeah, so I got back, and I did God of War, and that turned out fine. Hey, the suspension's done. Nice. Well, how about that? Looks like the entire bottom is done except for this piece right here. And then I did Destroy All Humans 2, which was the first episode of that. So that was super exciting to do too, because, you know, new game. So that's always fun to do, is a new game. So I did that, and that was fine. Although I went to play it and realized I had never downloaded it or even bought it. I had to buy it real quick. I thought I had, but I guess I didn't. O2 level 60% depleted. Is there more to this? So it turns out that I hadn't bought Destroy All Humans 2 yet, which tells you right there that, you know, I really don't play these games before I share them with you guys. We have no idea if the substance itself is terrestrial or alien in origin. Sure. In a previous outbreak, one of our colonies reorganized itself into a hierarchy determined solely by the skills, capability, and personality of the individuals. I don't know what that means. Terrifying. So yeah, I was very excited to play those 2 games, and so I recorded them. That was great. It was fine. It all went well. I did buy and download Destroy All Humans 2 and played it. It was fine. Everything worked. That's kind of the tricky bit about doing it that way, is that, you know, a lot of times these games need a little tweaking before they'll work on recording and stuff. So it's not always a good idea to assume it's going to work, but it worked fine. So I recorded it. It was good. You know, new game, took a little bit of getting used to, but we managed. So that was all good and well. And then I got to my 3rd game that I would have recorded yesterday morning, which was Dragon Ball. Now, this is where... Oh man, look at this. Jeez, how am I supposed to get up in there? This is where things got a little tricky. Because when I got to Dragon Ball, I was like, ugh, I don't want to play. I really just didn't really want to do it. And if you've been... I mean, you should be excited to play your games, right? And especially if you've been gone for 2 weeks, or a week, and you haven't played in 2 weeks. And you should be super excited to play it. And I just wasn't. I was like, you know, these DLCs that we've been playing just are not doing it for me, and I just really didn't feel like playing it. And when you get to a point like that where you're not really excited to play a game, God, this is just impossible. You got to ask yourself, why should you continue on? I think. Now, I've always said there's two rules to that, 2 bits that need to happen before I will give up on a game. One is I have to not be enjoying it, which was, I think, the case with the DLC. I liked Dragon Ball well enough. The main story, it was fine. I had my nitpicks with it, mostly in terms of the fact that a lot of times I felt like I wasn't really playing, I was just watching. But, you know, it was fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. But the DLCs were just this big, giant grind fest. And that's all it was just grinding levels. So I did the first DLC, which was to take 2 of our characters, Goku and Vegeta, and grind them from level about 100. We were right around level 100 when we started. And I had to grind them up to level 300, I think it was. Was it 250 or 300? I think it was 300. Now, they help you out with a particular item, sure, but it was still a lot of just running the same battle over and over again. And the combat system in Dragon Ball is not especially great. It's kind of mediocre at best. But, you know, it's fine. You can get through it. So I ground through all that, and then I thought, okay, so the second DLC is probably going to be, you know, we've already ground to level 300. I don't think it goes much any higher than that. So it'd be something different. Well, what the second DLC turned out to be was grinding up all your other characters from, and they didn't even start at 100. They were like around level 50 to 70 or so, depending on the character. And I was like, oh my god, and you want me to grind these guys up to level 300? And they didn't even give you as much help with that one. So, O2 levels 80% depleted. We have noticed the footprints leading away from the rover may or may not be human. Oh yeah, that doesn't look human. Yep. Whoa, a lot of dinging. Please investigate to ensure all containment has been dealt with. Okay, we'll go investigate. Oh dear. Oh dear. What the hell is this? What is this? This is fun. What's going on here? Let's clean this off. The gnome doesn't want to move. Come on, get off. Get off there, buddy. Get off so I can clean this off. Cool. Okay. Are there any other footprints anywhere? No. There's a drone. I was like, what? What's flying on Mars? Anyway, okay. So yeah, I have to not be enjoying the game, and you know, we had kind of reached that point, I feel like, and I wasn't really enjoying the DLC. I don't know if the other DLC, there's like 8 DLCs in that game. I don't know that the other ones were necessarily in that same category. Probably not, but I don't know. I just wasn't really, I didn't really want to do 6 more characters up to level 300. I just didn't. Okay, this is all looking pretty good. 98%. We're getting there. Although I still don't have a list, I notice. Okay, 99%. I'm sorry, I'm going to start hunting for dirt. Antenna cleaned. What am I missing? Other than what's up all up inside of here. Actually, this looks like it's clean. Looks like we got it. Cool. So what am I missing here? Wait, something just flashed. Something just flashed. There's so many pieces on here that I can't... Oh, God, it just flashed again. Body-mounted sensor. There we go. Okay, drill, rock analyzer, X-ray spectrometer. Well, okay, that's all fine and well, but I don't know what that means. Drill... This guy? X-ray spectrometer. Okay, there we go. Rock analyzer. Where would the rock analyzer be, do you suppose? I don't see it. I see nothing on here that's a problem. I'm gonna have to cheat, because I don't see anything on here that's a rock analyzer. Yeah, I have no idea. What do you suppose it is? Alright, let's cheat. I don't want to sit here and what is this? Well, I turned on the thingy and it still doesn't... Oh, this thing. Okay, there you go. Okay. There we go, job complete. That was easy enough. Cool. Okay, we'll open up the tablet. I feel bad for having to cheat on that one. But I didn't want to spend an hour trying to find one little piece. Okay. Let's see. Morning, Wishy. Don't worry about that emergency job. My buds called it off. It rained last night and it's clean enough from that. Also, you wouldn't believe the dream I had last night. Full should I donate my brain to science bizarro. How about you? Let me guess. You dreamt of washing a skyscraper after a huge gorilla made a mess of it. I miss you. See you soon, buddy. Okay. Cool. Continue. Cleaned. Yay. Okay, let's do the gnome fountain next. Dirtfinder, did you know we're going to up in the world? The mayor recently said to me, Warden, we're going up in the world. I'm not currently at liberty to say why or how, but Muckingham needs every potential tourist attraction that it can lay its hands on. Leave no stone unturned, lest it be a jewel, or something to that effect. So I sent my deputy Earl out and about to see what he could find, and in less than 3 weeks he found a sorry-looking fountain near the edge of the middle of the recreational grounds. It urgently needs a splash of your expertise. Do what you can, Dirt Finder. Okay, it's worth $285. Let's do it. Confirm. Why are you resetting my progress? I finished that other one. Don't you dare reset my progress and not you. Okay. This looks pretty big. It's a gnome fountain for obvious reasons, but what do you think it's made out of? I couldn't begin to tell you. Don't know that I really care that much. Because it's some kind. Because if it's some kind of marble, then we can potentially repurpose it into a new park keeper's lodge. Sure. Only the fountain itself is of insufficient quality, of course. Okay. Why are you not putting clean? Stop that. Okay, outer wall. Mostly clean, apparently. Hey, cool. The outer wall caps must have an inside, right? So the second criteria for me to drop a game is that people have to not be watching it. If people are watching it and I'm not enjoying a game, then I'll keep playing it just for the purposes of, you know, not, you know, I don't want people to like not be able to finish their game, right? So, although I can't think of an instance where that's ever happened. We haven't like given up on too many games, but I can't think of a single instance where I gave up on a game, where I wanted to give up on a game that I wasn't enjoying, that people were watching. It's always the other way around. It's always people stop watching a game, but I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to keep playing it, right? So, yeah, those two things have to be true, and that was true of Dragon Ball. It was not getting any audience, and I wasn't really having a good time with it anymore, so it met the criteria for dropping. And it hasn't happened too many times, but it did happen with that one. I think we played through the main game. We were good. I was pretty happy with that. This has an underneath. I've got to get the other side. So yeah, I didn't feel too bad about dropping it. You know, we just didn't do the DLC. Basically, is what it comes down to, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't care about that. So the DLC was just not doing it for me. I mean, maybe some of the other DLCs will be fine. I don't really know, but based on the first two DLCs, I was like, I don't want to do this. So yeah. So we're going to replace it with a new game. It's going to come up on the new channel. As is Destroy All Humans 2. It will be on the new channel. It won't be on the old channel. So, you know, if you're waiting for Destroy All Humans 2, you will find it on the new channel next week, I think. It's going to come, not this week, but next week. I just recorded it. I haven't even edited it yet. That's a hard word to say. Edited. So yeah. There we go. We won't deal with the top of the gnome yet. That's fine. Oops, I did that thing again. How do I get that off? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, Dragon Ball's done. Although you guys still have an episode coming out this week. I think that'll be the final. Now that I'm only a week ahead of you guys, which I kind of like better anyway. I really don't like being 2 weeks ahead of you guys, because then I forget what you guys are just seeing, and I've completely forgotten what happened in that episode. So I don't really like that. So yeah, I'm happier with it being a week ahead anyway, which is where it's going to stay, because it takes me that long to edit the videos. So. Okay. Well, we're only 2% of the way done with it. Jeez Louise, this is going to be a long one. Mars rover was short. This is going to be long. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z will be replaced with a new game. And it's a brand new IP, so I'm not going to tell you what it is quite yet, but it will be up on the new channel in 2 weeks, I believe. Something like that. So the old channel, the Long Play Central channel, the one that you're watching right now, will be down to 3 games. Until it starts getting its repurposed games, which is going to be the long play format. There may be some overlap there, come to think of it, because I don't want them to sit for too long before I do the long play part, or the long form version of the videos that appear on SumTotal. So yeah, I mean, if you guys were, if there's anybody here that was watching Dragon Ball Z, I apologize, but it just wasn't getting very much traffic. I don't think anybody's going to be too sad to see it go. At least I hope not. I always feel a little bad when I cancel a game, because, you know, somebody might have been watching that. Or might watch it in the future, and I haven't finished it, but whatever. You know, you can only do what you can do. How can we only be 3% of the way through this phone? That's crazy. So then I did Immortals, which was fine. Immortals went fine. That's a game that doesn't get a lot. That's a game that gets kind of similar traffic to Dragon Ball. It's not, you know, Wednesdays and Thursdays were always my days of low traffic for whatever reason. People just aren't connecting with Immortals. But in that case, I'm really enjoying that game, so I'm willing to keep playing it despite you guys. You know, it hasn't met the criteria for me dropping a game. If I stop enjoying it, then we might be there, but so far, so good. So I'm not going to, I have no plans on dropping that game. I'm going to continue to play it until it's finished. As far as I know, I think we're about halfway through it, roughly, maybe a little bit more. So it went fine. The recording went fine. No problems. And then we come to Lego Pirates, which, oh boy, that just about gave me a heart attack this morning. If you were, like, happen to catch it on my channel, I had made a post that Lego Pirates was going to be put on hold for a little bit. And the reason for that was because when I logged into it this morning to play it, it told me the save game was corrupted. And I went, what? And I messed with it for a while, and I found the location where the save game was supposed to be, and there was no file there. I was like, oh dear. And I tried to recover it, and I couldn't, and I came to the conclusion that I was going to have to replay the game from the start all the way back. Not on camera, but just to get us back to where we were. I was going to have to redo it from scratch. And I even started to do it. I played the first 2 levels over again. And as I was playing it, I realized this might have been user error. That maybe it wasn't the game that was doing this, it was my fault. Because what I had done is, after I got back last week from where I was, which was a wedding, by the way, because I didn't really have anything to edit, I had some free time, and so I bought and downloaded the new Batman Lego game just to see, because I've been curious about it. And so what I did was I downloaded it, and then I realized, well, I may end up playing this on my channel someday. So what I want to do, I don't want any of the trophies to pop, because I'd rather the trophies were, all the trophies were shown with, intact with you guys. So what I did was I created a new profile. I set it up as a family profile, so it had all my games, and played on that, which was fine. I played a little bit of Batman, probably about 3 or 4 hours worth. Not a whole lot, some. And yeah, so that was fine. Well, I never switched the profile back. I just left it on that profile, and so as I was replaying Lego Pirates, it occurred to me, hey, I'm on a different profile than I usually am. I wonder if that messed up the save file. So I closed everything down. I loaded up, or I swapped profiles back to my other profile, the regular one. And sure enough, when I started up Lego again, there it was. There was my save file. So it was my fault, not the game's fault. I swapped profiles and I never swapped it back. And that's why. So apparently, if you don't know, if you change profiles on Steam and you load up one of your Lego games, it will call the save file corrupted. I don't really know how it works, because I went into that save file location, I found out where it was, and it was blank, it was empty. And I mean, there was nothing there. And I even did a search on my computer for the name of the file. I found out what it was supposed to be, and it didn't come up with anything relevant. I was like, but then when I switched profiles back, the file came back, and I don't know where it came back from. Because it wasn't from the cloud, I don't think. Because I looked there. That's one of the first things I did, was I looked for that save game in the cloud, and the Steam claimed it wasn't there. And I guess it could have been because I was on the wrong profile, so maybe it came from the cloud. And I switched back over my profile. I don't think it was on my computer, so I guess maybe that's where it was stored. It was backed up there. I don't really know. But anyway, gave me a heart attack this morning. For a while, I thought I was going to have to replay the entire game from scratch. And like just put the game on hold until I caught back up to where I was. That was kind of going to be the plan, and I even started to do it. I did the first 2 levels over again in story mode. But then I came to the realization that I had switched profiles, and then maybe that was the problem, and indeed that's what the problem was. So yeah, happy ending in the end. We found, we got back to my regular save game. I didn't have to replay the whole game again. But I am going to back up that save file, because if that goes down, ugh, that's a mess. That save file gets corrupted. There's no way to recover it, I don't think. I mean, I guess if it's on the cloud, I don't know. Maybe there's a way to recover it. I'll have to check and see if it's on the Steam save, or the Steam servers, that save. So yeah, it did give me a bit of a heart attack this morning. It put me way behind. That's why I'm actually behind today. I'm on somewhat later than I normally am. Because I had started to replay the game and thought, and then I realized that the save was there. Then I recorded the normal episode, so that I didn't actually finish until like noon my time, which is later than I normally finish recording on some days. But yeah, good lord, how big is this fountain? I feel like I've been going around in circles forever. We are 5%. Oh my goodness, this is huge. Okay. So yeah, I mean, pirates did give me a heart attack this morning. I thought I was about. That was something else. I was not happy, to say the least. But it all worked out in the end. It was fine. Turned out okay. And actually, the actual episode itself was actually unusually easy. I didn't have to play any levels more than once. I got everything first try. Didn't have to look anything up or anything like that. So yeah, it was good. It's unusual for that game because that game can be a little bit obscure as to what they want. Although there was one where that would have been obscure, but somehow I knew the answer, and I don't really know how I knew the answer. I must have seen it somewhere. Because there was one trophy, or not trophy, but ship in a bottle that you really would have no indication that it was a thing. At least, well, I mean, you have the arrow that says this is where it is, so you kind of know the general spot, but go. I don't think there's anything that would have told you, and I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure how I knew the answer. I must have seen it somewhere. I must have read it or something, because I knew immediately what I was supposed to do, even though there was no indication of that. So it must have been spoiled for me at some point. I try to stay away from spoilers, but sometimes it's a little hard, and it happens. So, in God of War, we did some really good work. I killed 4 major bosses this week. I mean, and I'm talking major bosses, like two of the boss encounters, I should say, not just bosses, because there's multiples, that are considered the hardest in the game, I think, by many people, which are the Berserkers. There's 2 sets there's one that's a doublet, where there's 2 Berserkers in there, and there's one that's a triplet, where there are 3 Berserkers in there, that you're fighting at once. And I beat both of those this week. So, I mean, that's big. That's giant. So you guys will see that next week. Not this week, but next week. So yeah. It's hard to tell because, of course, I don't know the game. But hey, Tag. Only here for 5 minutes, just on my break at work. I'm doing good. How are you? How's work going? Yeah, I'm running a little late today. That's sorry about that. Lego messed me up today, so. Tiring. I'm closing tonight, so I won't finish till 11:30. Oh. Yipes. Yeah. I have a series of meetings at work this week, which is going to be a bummer because I have to sit in the conference room all week, which is never super fun. It's always exhausting, even though you're just sitting there. So yeah, I feel for you. But I have 3 days off, so I'm going to get some good recording done. I need to build up a backlog. Yes. Yes, you do. You've been doing some pretty good releasing, though, in the last couple of weeks. Or at least the last week. I've seen quite a few games come through. If only 3/5 of my series didn't require grinding. Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. Gotham Knights for sure. Let me think. Can I remember them all? Kingdom Hearts, yes, that's a grinder. What's the other one? I don't know. What's the third one? Ding. Odyssey. Oh yes, Odyssey. Right. Of course. Yes. Yeah, grinding is never fun. That's why I'm getting rid of. I spent 2 hours before we're grinding, and I still aren't where I want to be before the next episode. Ugh. Yeah, that's rough, for sure. And it's the reason why I'm stopping Dragon Ball. It's because of the grinding. I don't know what it is with. I don't mean to generalize, but it seems like Japanese games really like to use that grinding mechanic, and I don't know why that is. I'm sure there must, like, I don't know, like, what about the Solid Snake series? That's a Japanese series. I don't think it requires any grinding, but it seems like a lot of them do. The other one that I played was Yakuza 0, which was very grindy. Probably the single most grindy game that I've ever played. But so I don't know why they seem to like that mechanic. I'm not sure why. With Odyssey, yeah. That's tough. When you're trying to, I mean, it's hard enough to get through that many games in a week and edit and do all that kind of stuff. But then you have to add a grind on top of it that you want to get stuff done. That makes it rough. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow is the day that I edit the first game for Sum Total Games, and I gotta remember to use the right intros because I'm gonna go on autopilot and start using the Long Play Central intros and stuff, and they're different. So I gotta remember not to do that, and I bet you I'm gonna forget, and I'm gonna have to like do it over again. But I'm gonna have to write myself a note or something. Don't forget to change the intro files and stuff, because it's not the same. This is like the world's longest or largest fountain. What is what's the deal? I feel like I've been going around this thing forever. Are we almost there? Yeah, I think that's the start over there, right? Just right over there. Okay, we're not that far from it. Goodness, it's a big fountain. I mean, granted, I am going around the outside of it. Yeah. So you'll have to watch the first 15 minutes of this video, my man, because I went over and I had a lot of issues this week in recording, and Lego Pirates just about killed me with technical problems this week, and it was my fault. It's definitely my fault because I did a damn stupid thing and just about screwed myself over. I really did think I was going to have to replay that entire game from start. But I did get to play a little bit of Batman, the new Batman game, the new Batman Lego game, just a little bit. Probably about 3 hours worth, something like that. Seems pretty good. I don't know if it was quite what I was expecting. It's different from what it's different from Lego games in that there's no like, well, there is sort of a free play, I guess. You can replay levels, but it's not like you have to or anything. It's kind of weird. I didn't get very far into it, so it may swap up a little bit and become more of a traditional Lego game. But from what I see, it's different from what you're probably used to in Lego games. But I mean, so far so good. It's definitely a mixture of the Arkham games and the Lego games. It's got that same sort of like combat from the Arkham games in a bit of a light form, but it is the same kind of idea. Ding. See, we got that one. No, we didn't. We didn't get this one. Why? How very dare you? Okay. This is one of those levels that's kind of tedious, at least to start out with. I think once we get back to the inside, it'll get a little more interesting. This outside is just kind of the same thing over and over again. That's fine. Okay. Did I not get this? Okay. So I'm quite excited for you guys to see, well, what's the right word? Yeah, I guess excited is fine. I'm excited for you to see the new channel. It should be fun times. I mean, it's the same as this channel, basically. It is this channel. This channel is going to change. The other one's going to be what this one is right now. So, it's not like Sum Total Games is going to be different, but I think it's better named. And so, I'm interested to see how it does. If it makes any difference. If it doesn't, I don't know. It could be it's going to do just terrible and no one will show, but whatever. It's fine. But I'm interested to see how it does. And we'll migrate games over there as we finish them off on this channel. So yeah, it'll have one game next week and 2 games the week after that. So because Dragon Ball's ended, I'll be starting up. I'll record the first episode of the new game next week, and so that'll go the week after that. So yeah, stuff will start appearing on that channel. I think, as far as streaming goes, we'll stick to this channel for this game until we finish it, which will be a while because this game has a lot of DLC, and I've been planning on doing them. I've quite enjoyed this game. It seems weird to say that because it's such a weird game that you wouldn't think you would enjoy, like a work simulator, but it has actually been quite relaxing. And so I'm planning on finishing it. Ding. How are we doing? We're almost there. Okay. Like this is the last section. Nice. And then we're going to switch to the inner wall. So yeah, we'll finish off this game on this channel, and it's appropriate. The new format for this channel is going to be long form videos. So I'll just take the existing videos from Sum Total, put them together, and into like, I haven't really decided how long yet. I'm thinking 10-hour videos, but it could be shorter. And then posting them here without commentary. And this being 2 to 3 hour stream, it fits in okay. It's fine. Hey, look, we're back around. Okay, cool. And we're 12% done. Oi! That's like an interesting middle piece. Okay. I think what I want to do is these little gnome guys. Let's do the gnome guys. The outer gnome guys, anyway. Outer wall gnome. All right. Okay, back. That piece is done. Okay, our little mushroom outer wall gnome. What's your deal? There you go. Cool, cool. Next. Start on this side. So yeah, bit of change coming to the channels, but you know, don't stress too much. If you prefer the format that I'm doing right now, which if you're watching my channel, then you probably do. I don't really know. But yeah, it'll be the same exact format over on SumTotal. I'm just changing the name, basically. That's the only difference, really. This channel is going to be something totally different. It's going to be more in line with its actual name, which is Longplay. Because I think that name is hurting us. But gotta get the front, my man. There you go. That one's done. Next. Let's get this thing. There you go. Okay, how we doing? Cool. That one's done too. How many have we done now? 3? We're at 14%. Boy, this might be the only thing we do today, besides the Mars rover. I was hoping we'd get through a few of the odd jobs, but whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Let's get this bottom piece. There you go. So yeah, yeah. There's probably nothing more like heart crushing than starting up your game just to record and seeing the message that your save file is corrupted. I probably ought to start backing that thing up like on a regular basis for that very reason, just in case something like that. Although if I had backed it up, I might have screwed myself over. So. You know, who knows? If I had like come to the conclusion, which I did at one point, that the save file was gone, and I had restored it from a backup, I don't know how that would have worked if the new profile versus old profile. So yeah, it might have been even worse. I might have messed myself up really badly. Okay, let's get this bottom thing. Cool. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Is we'll keep Power Wash Simulator right here. When I get through it, however long that ends up taking, and we go to Power Wash Simulator 2, I probably will move that over to the other channel. I'm not really sure. We got some time to figure it out because we're not done with this one yet. But we'll see. Okay. Get the front side. Ding. Nice. How many more gnomes do we have? At least 3. Goodness gracious. Okay. This one looks rather easy, actually. Look like there's too much. Well, he's got a thing on his shoulder. That's what this is. Okay, that piece is done. There we go. This guy. These gnomes have a lot of nooks and crannies themselves, which is fun. Okay, front. Wash off your face, my man. There you go. See, we're getting there. Oh yeah, we only got one gnome left. Nice. You're up, my buddy. Let's get you cleaned up, shall we? Okay, this guy doesn't want to get clean for some reason. What's up with you, my man? There's stuff on the top. Use the old bounce technique. There you go. Okay. How are we doing? 17%. Goodness gracious. This is quite the task here. Alright, inner wall. Why are you not done? That should have gone off. What's going on? Oh, never did get all between all this stuff. What the hell? kind of shoddy job was that? All right. This one should have gone off too. What am I doing? I thought I got underneath all these. Apparently I did not. Wow. I could swear I finished off all those. Okay. But alright. See, that one, dang butts, looks like clean the outside. There you go. That one did. This whole bottom panel is all the same piece. So yeah. Just this upper cap is its own thing. That's fine. All right, moving around. It's giving me vibes of the pyramid that we did for some reason. Kind of feels similar to that. You see, the virtues of marble are that it doesn't readily absorb heat or moisture. Sure. Currently, Earl and I are huddled up in a creosote shack, and boy does it get hot in the summer months, cold in the winter. I'm not really sure I know that word. Creosote? Probably saying it wrong. Where are we at? We just hit 20%. Nice. I want to try, well, quite a job here. I don't know if we're going to finish this today. I was kind of hoping that we were going to finish this fountain today. But given that we've only gotten 20% in, I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes. So it's hard to tell with God of War because I haven't, you know, I'm doing a blind playthrough. I don't know anything about it. But I think, based on my usual technique of looking and seeing where other creators are at the same point in their playthrough where I am, I think I've got about a couple hours left in the story. And I've done all the side stuff, pretty much. Now, as it turns out, I have discovered through looking that there is a post-game epilogue kind of deal where there's some things that you can't get before the end of the story. You know, you have to get it after the story's over, which I don't love, but you know, it is what it is. We can only do what the developers give us to do. I have to work within the constraints of what they have set up. If I have my way about it, the last mission of the main story is the last thing we do in the game. That's always how I like to play games. So all the side stuff is done, and that's the final thing we do. It's the last mission of the game. But some games just aren't set up that way. It's just not. That's not how they work. So, and God of War is one such game. So, but all the side stuff I can do, we have done. We are pretty much done with everything other than there's one more boss that I can get that I haven't gotten yet, which I will get at the beginning of the next episode that I record, just because I didn't really know he existed. Yeah, I can get him, and then that's going to be all the side stuff we can do for now. And we'll just we'll do main story until we finish the game. So a couple of episodes, probably 2, maybe 3 episodes, I figure. And the main part of that game's over, and then we'll do some epilogue stuff, and I don't know how long that's going to take. I haven't got a clue because it's hard to tell. That technique I use of figuring out where other people are in their game doesn't really work when it comes to stuff like that, because creators tend to mainline the game, and that's fine for figuring out where I am in the main story, but then they don't do the epilogue stuff a lot of times, or if they do, some of them do. I mean, I'm not saying everybody doesn't, but if they do, they're in a totally different place than I am. Like I've done as much side stuff as is possible to do before the end of the game, pretty much. They may not have done that, so they may have, like, you know, if they're going to complete the game more thoroughly, they may still have another 10 hours or something, right? That they want to get done. And that may not even be everything in the game, like I do. So, whereas I would be much further ahead of them than that, potentially, when it comes to the epilogue stuff. Like, their epilogue stuff is different than mine, because they would not necessarily have done everything there is to do before the end of the game, whereas I did. So my epilogue's probably going to be a lot shorter than most people. So I don't really know how long the epilogue's going to take. It's what I'm trying to get at. So, yeah. So we shall see. I think we have 2 to 3 episodes left of the main game. So, and after that is going to be going into the epilogue and doing however much is left there. I don't think it's very much, based on, you know, the number of things that are left in the realms that we haven't encountered yet. There's not too many. So we'll do that, and then of course there's the DLC Valhalla, which I will do, and that'll be that for God of War. We'll be done with God of War until the next game comes out, because that's going to be the end. We've done all the God of Wars with the exception of Ascension, which that game can bite me. All right. Cool. That takes care of the entire outside. So, what shall we do next? I guess we'll do this floor that I'm standing on. Why not? Start here. Work our way in. I don't know what this red gunk is. Doesn't really say, does it? I guess Windows must have had some serious major update when I was away. So when I turned my computer back on when I got home, it went to a bunch of welcome screens and stuff like it does sometimes, and then it screwed up all my sound settings, which that happens when it does a major update. So they must have had some kind of major thing happen. Because then I had to figure out what was wrong with my sound. And I got it working, but it wasn't working the same as I had it. So when I went to record, I had to go back and change some more stuff again, which is always fun. But yeah, it's fine. I got it fixed. Ultimately, it worked out. But I love when Windows decides to change my settings for me. I have my settings set that way for a reason, Windows. Thank you very much. Leave them alone. But I thought I was going to do some other stuff today. Like when I was recording Immortals and everything was going just fine. I was actually well ahead of schedule, and I thought, hey, I'll get some other stuff done today. I'll go outside and work on something and do some yard work or whatever. But no, that idea was put out the window by Lego. So, yeah. Lego actually had a new set come out, and what was it? I think it's a Lord of the Rings set, like a big one, collector series kind of set. And I really did consider buying it, but it is like $600, so I don't really have that kind of money anymore. Why is this not going off? Why, Stimpy, why? There we go. One section done. Is that Lego Lord of the Rings? I can't remember what the hell it was. Why am I drawing a blank on that? I think it's some major set come out. Was it a Star Wars set? I don't think it was a Star Wars set. I want to say it's Lord of the Rings, but yeah, it's that city. It's the city with the white tree. What's it called? The dead tree. Where the Steward leapt to his death. Sorry, spoiler for Lord of the Rings if you haven't read or watched that movie. But I mean, come on, that book's like 100 years old now. And the movie's like 20 years old, right? When did that come out? But yeah, it's an expensive set. It's hard for me to justify. There was a time in my life when I could buy things like that. You know, back when we were a two-income family, but You know, and I had disposable income like that. I don't really have that kind of money anymore. That's not something I can really justify. Okay, once again, we're in this situation where this thing is not clicking off. There you go. All right, how many are these? Probably 5, maybe 6. So, one of the interesting things I may have said this before. One of the things I like to look at when I'm playing a series, a game series, is how it evolves over time. And the Lego games have been around for a long time. I don't remember when Star Wars: The Complete Saga came out. Probably 2001, so like early 2000s, right? So I kind of watched as we're playing them how the games have changed and how they've evolved, which I find fascinating. I love that kind of thing, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I really do enjoy watching how games change and what they kept and what they removed and what they tried. And what I've noticed about the games, they went into, when they went to Indiana Jones 2, they went to a very, very short set of levels. Like literally levels you could finish in 10 minutes. And I think they realized that didn't really work because they only kept it for one game. And then they went to really, really long levels. Like everything since then has been like half an hour levels and stuff, right? So I am noticing that in Pirates, the levels are like a good half an hour a piece to get through, especially when you're doing free play and you're having to like hunt everything down. I think they realized, or they decided that longer was better than shorter. I mean, they tried shorter, and you know, you got to respect them for it, but they realized it didn't really work. I don't think Indiana Jones 2 was really their best game. Okay, here we are on this thing again. Okay, let's do this. There we go. 31%. Hey, we're getting up there. Yeah, so the levels keep getting longer and longer, which is fine. Unless the game crashes right at the end of the level, but I really haven't had too many crash issues with Pirates once we fixed the resolution and the VSync issue. It really, I think it crashed once on me after that. And since then it's been pretty stable. So hopefully, maybe we've got that issue resolved. I'm, 3/4 of the way through the game, but maybe by this point we're done with all that nonsense. I know there's a couple of levels in there that just were a nightmare to get through. London Town, for instance, was terrible. I had to play that like 4 times to get that stupid level to work. That was most likely a VSync issue. Funnily enough, if you turn on the VSync, everybody does what they're supposed to do instead of getting stuck on whatever. And so, yeah. How we doing? Coming along. I guess as we spiral inward, it'll get faster and faster, right? Each section to do, because there'll be less surface. I will say that the story in God of War got really good these last couple of weeks. I mean, they did a good job. Okay, that one's done. Whew, moving on. I did not see what happened coming, and I am, you know, I'm fairly bad at that. I don't really look for signals that something is coming. I just kind of let the story play out. I prefer it that way. I mean, you know, if you want to, you could probably predict a lot of stuff coming, depending on how much they foreshadow or how much they telegraph. I prefer not to watch stuff that way and just let it happen and just watch and try not to analyze too much as I'm watching. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you just know. But like some people figured out. I don't want to do spoilers. I mean, can you do spoilers for a movie that's 15 years old? Yeah, I won't say. Some people figure out the whatever the ending is going to be well before we get to that point. I try to just let it happen. Just let it play, and don't overanalyze too much. But yeah. Okay. How are we doing? We're 3/4 of the way through this floor. That one's done. Whew. Now we're at 35%. I gotta stretch for a second. Okay. All right, let's continue on. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying the God of War story at the moment. I guess you guys are going to get the next God of War installment tomorrow, right? I think that's true. So that's a good one. I hope you enjoyed it. I won't say too much about it because, again, spoilers, but I'll just say I enjoyed it. a little bit tricky to see with this floor because it's marble. It's got some modeling to it, so it's hard to tell where the dirt is and where just the regular marble is. Okay. This is the last section, I think, or the second to last section. Okay. All right, we'll continue on. So, I think that Lego doesn't have a whole lot more to go. I know that one's going to be 20 episodes, so and I just did 14, so 6 more weeks of Lego, and then God of War is also towards the end. Although again, we do have some stuff post game to do, but I don't think it's got a ton of time left. I think the game that we're going to close down the channel with is going to be Immortals. And when I say close down the channel, I don't mean it's going to stop. Just change formats. But I think Immortals will be the last game. That one's probably only about halfway done. It's probably the furthest behind of all the games. The game after Pirates of the Caribbean is going to be Harry Potter. The second game, the years 5 through 7, I think it is. So that'll be fun. It's been a while since we played the Harry Potter game. Get back into that. If I was TT Games right now, I would probably be working on a Marvel game in the vein of Star Wars, the new Star Wars and the new Batman games that covers all the movies, but that may be a little bit out of a bit of a big scope because there's how many movies? There's a lot of movies. So in the MCU. But if they wanted to redo a franchise, that's one they could do. But that's quite an undertaking. I don't know if you could actually be realistically try and do that. That's a lot. But I mean, Star Wars wasn't short. That was 9 movies. And then Batman. Well, Batman was based on kind of the lore more than movies. I don't mind saying that I'm struggling to find the motivation to come to work. This is the park warden. Yeah, don't we all, my man? Don't we all? But I knew I was coming to a brand new deluxe marble keeper's lodge, possibly even the finest this side of Detergento. Well, if I knew. Oh, was that the end of that story? I thought he was going to continue on. Okay, we're 2/3 of the way through this floor. Whew, okay. Ta-da! Look at that, 41%. Nice. Okay, what do we want to do? I mean, we're spiraling inward, so it's not as much, for sure. Should we try to do this wall? And this thing? Why is it still saying that's dirty? What am I missing? Oh, this edge. There you go. Okay. Back around the other way. Cool. Done. Ah, also done. Nice. The walls are all separate pieces. It's kind of nice. Oh my goodness, is this gonna be all the way around? Yipes. There you go. All right, moving on. Being back to another platform again. Whoops, had my fingers on the wrong buttons. So, like I said, I was gone last week, and so it was a very, very busy week last week because there was tons to do. It was a wedding thing, so I had a lot to do. Not my wedding, but I was the best man, so there was stuff for me to get done. And then this week is just a bloody nightmare of work stuff. I can't even begin to tell you guys how much of a pain work is going to be this week. And so, but the week after that should be fairly calm, I'm hoping. Should be. And I'm looking forward to that. That's I've had enough of the crazy weeks. So hopefully we can calm down a little bit, because it's been crazy. Okay. How much is... Hang on. How much is this job paying me in total? $450? Seems like not enough. This is a big job. I feel like I underbid this one. Okay. I mean, it's looking pretty nice, I have to say, you know. It's not a bad looking fountain. Okay. Thing. Okay, we're almost halfway there. Oh, I think we're not going to be able to finish this. How long have we been going for? I have no idea. Where's my numbers? 2 hours. Okay, yeah. I don't want to go too much longer, guys. I feel like A, that I don't really have much else to say about anything, and B, I'm getting tired. It was a long morning. So, I think what I'll do is maybe try to get around the rest of this edge. We'll call it a day there. I presume there's not much more. Oh yeah, there's not. We're almost there. This is the last section. How about that? So yeah, we'll finish this off and call it a day. And the next time we come in, it should be a little more interesting because we're getting towards the middle and things are getting smaller and smaller, so it'll be more interesting. Or if we get to a long bit, it won't be as long. Or kind of a tedious bit. You know what I mean? Because it's a shorter circumference. But yeah. All right. Very good, guys. We're like at 46%. We're almost halfway through this. We should be able to finish it next time because we did start with the Mars rover today, so that took some time. It's a soccer ball. Oh yeah. I don't know where the gnome is. He's got to be out here somewhere. Got to be out around here somewhere. He's probably up there somewhere. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, it's been fun. It's been, you know, I enjoyed the first one and this one so far. So the odd jobs are pretty good. So I'm gonna drop back out to here. Yeah. This is done. This is at 46. Okay. Yeah, it's saving it. I don't know what the hell it was talking about when it said you would reset your progress. I don't know what it means by that. Maybe if I started the mini golf course without finishing this one, it would not save that. Not really sure. But whatever. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. I'm going to head off, and we'll see everybody next week. So hopefully we'll have some more new and interesting things to talk about when we get back there. So, all right, gang. Talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.